How y'all doing? It's Saturday. Today is March 20, it's the 22nd. Yesterday was 21st. Um, I got a lot to talk about today. Sauce Walker was shot in Memphis, Tennessee. R.I.P. George Foreman, who passed away last night. Pound for pound, one of the greatest boxers there is. You know, George Foreman was one of the best. Definitely a legend. R.I.P. to him. He passed last night. Lots going on. We're going to address everything. Sauce Walker being shot in Memphis. Yellow Beezy locked up. And then we're going to talk about these two clown bozo niggas, Hassan Campbell and Zip with the Drip. We got to get into they two bozos, you know, because the worst of the worst. Two bozos on the internet. And I want to say this, man. I got a lot of big things on the way. Some big dogs done hit me up and they ready to do business. So I got a lot of things up under the sleeve. See, you got the Bullets Gotti show, you got Rapmatic, and then I got my other podcast that's coming. So you're gonna see a lot of great things coming in behind the scenes. That's why when people talk shit and say, "Oh, Bullets Gotti, man, you finished," I'm like, bro, I got a lot of shit in the background y'all dudes don't even know. But hey, it is what it is. But let's get into it like this. So Yellow Beezy got arrested. What was it? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. They arrested him Thursday. Basically, they connected him to the murder of Mo 3. Now, Yellow Beezy was arrested. Salute. Yellow Beezy was arrested for sexual assault, and most definitely sexually assault and assault and battery, right? Somehow, Thursday, they came up with the capital murder and the death of Mo 3. Now, this Mo 3 murder happened 2020 during the pandemic, if y'all remember. You know, Mo 3 was murdered during the pandemic where a lot of rappers was losing their lives in 2022 and 2021. So Mo 3 was one of those that got killed. In fact, they never can block the blessings, you already know. So everybody online kept, you know, your Expected Gadgets online. Let's keep it real. Your Expected, because I call all these people on YouTube Expected Gadgets. These Expected Gadgets came on YouTube and they solved Mo 3's murder case. Hold on one second. Hold on. Yeah, so the police. Who you gonna pursue in there? You call and let her know? So, so, so what I was gonna say. Yeah, so salute to the brother that came in here from Russia. Peace to you. Sorry about that. I was on mute. I was taking a long distance phone call. So let me just say what I was saying. So the Expected Gadgets on YouTube solved the Mo 3 case, right? All your YouTube pundits that were saying, yo, Yellow Beezy killed Mo 3. Yellow Beezy was behind that. Salute, 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 brother. Yellow Beezy was behind that. Errol Spence, you know, they got robbed by Mo 3 crew and Yellow Beezy and them. They stripped them. And yo, this is he did that, right? So people on YouTube kept solving the case. And the police picked it up. And they said, yo, he killed Mo3. And they waited a whole long time from 2020 to now 2025. They arrest Yellow Beezy. Now, I do know that, Yellow Beezy, Errol Spence had beef with Mo3 because that was the accident that Errol Spence got into with the Lamborghini. They saying that they basically was following. Now, you a weirdo. You a weirdo, Debo. I don't know what you talking about, dogs. So, they flipped the car over. So, when they flipped the car over, you know, boy, is who step up in the place. The kid with 2 weapons in his face, 2 stepping to the base. They flipped the car over. So when he flipped the car over, that's how he got into that nasty accident. And it was all because of the beef with him and things. So nobody mute anybody or block anybody. Salute to the chat that's coming in here watching. So the accident, and then the whole them stripping dudes basically turned into the death of Mo3. Mo3 was fed in that area, allegedly. Like they said, he was fed in his region, and they wasn't playing. So the head that Yellow Beezy got locked up, and they trying to give him the death penalty, capital murder, for Mo3's death. And this has happened. This, like I said, this happened 2020. That's crazy that they found out that it was old boy that did that. But it wasn't surprising. Like I tell people all the time, man, this social media game is crazy. It's real crazy. So R.I.P. to Mo3. His family, the people was saying that boy did it, and they gonna get their justice. But that's crazy that all happened for 5 years. That was 5 years that happened. So to hear that they basically, and I didn't hear Yellow Beezy speak about it. He didn't go on nobody platform speaking about it. You ain't hear him say nothing about Mo3 death. Usually a lot of people, they talk about it, he didn't say nothing. So that's crazy. That's just like with the Dirk situation. Like they were saying that Dirk and them retaliated, and I really don't know, because they saying Big U. Let's keep it real. Like the whole thing with Big U, right? And even with Yellow Beezy, because Yellow Beezy is connected to Rolling 60s. That's the crazy thing. He's connected to Big U and them. So when you look at the Big U case, and then the Quando Rondo where his man's getting killed, that's crazy. How you gonna get mad with somebody because he ain't check in and then get on the platform? So you don't know. A lot of this might go hand in hand. A lot of this investigation stuff that's going on, Big U, Yellow Beezy, the Dirk case, it might be connected because they made sure they picked up everybody at the same damn time, boy. They made sure they picked up everybody at the same time, man. What's goody? That scheme team was good. Down to sleep. I praise my soul and soul to keep. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that case is crazy, And they going hard. Like I didn't think they was gonna go that hard with Yellow Beezy because he was arrested for something totally different that Wednesday. But then they came back with the Mo3 thing. So it's crazy, yo. Who would have thought that Mo3 situation would have popped off the way it did, like that? Like they came up like, I don't know, maybe they found the DNA or somebody talking, because out of nowhere, Yo Beezy did this and that. So, Ain't shit. I'm chilling, homie. So is what it is, man. So the big U case, let's talk about it, man. Um, every day is something new with it. They said like three of the people or four of the co-defendants in the case all got bailed out, all is home. And they saying that Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, and Big U is still in there. But the other co-defendants is free. The chick that got the food truck, his man's a beer claw, a couple of them is all free. So with the Big U case, yeah, it's looking like he the LA version of Preacher, like I said, man. That whole synopsis of that case is crazy because let's look at it like this, right? When you read that paperwork of how many dudes got, they got. Like AB with the whole dice game, the unsanctioned dice game. The situation with who was it? I think was it AB? It was who was it? Cause it was somebody. Oh, the kidnapped rapper. So when you got the kidnapped rapper, and then you got the AB, the dice game, and you got all this stuff, man, it was like, yo, son was a tyrant, bro. They had it in the work. It was a tyrant. So that case is really, it's all over the place, man. You know? Oh, oh, you should have handled your handle, B. Everybody hates scheme. You should have did something, my guy. Salute to you, brother. Salute to you. But can't Tony A for you. If it ain't him, he's a troll. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about these trolls. Chilling, family. Yeah. Oh, fake page. Let the fake page rock. We don't care. He a troll. Salute to the trolls. But yeah. So when I read the work, it's like it's crazy, man. Like 600. Yo, y'all seen 600 videos? Like 600. He really is like he don't care, son. Like, and it's like with 600 and all of them, even with Adam, because they blaming Adam. They saying, yo, Adam 22 has something to do with it. But Adam, you gotta look, bro. They went on Adam. Nobody tells these dudes to go on Adam, bro. Nobody tells these dudes to go on Adam 22 and have a long conversation with Adam. Y'all know what y'all doing when y'all go on Adam and y'all have conversation. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App, $Bullet Scotty. Yeah, okay. You do, that's what you do. You laugh. Hey, salute to you, bro. Nobody worrying about you, troll. But yeah, Adam and Vlad, these dudes, Trap Lord Ross, man, these dudes going in, they try snitch. You know, they disrespect, you know, okay, we heard you. Is this, I don't know what's up, but salute. So when it comes to Trap Lord Ross, Adam, and all these dudes, 1090J, that's what they do. That's their job. Their job is to be what they are. Officers, you know, on YouTube. You know? And these dudes sit up there on their platform and they just be clout chasing. They clout chase to the point that it's not even funny, because I could sit and watch an Adam 22 interview. And I could watch a Vlad interview, right? And I could watch a Trap Lil Rose and 1090 Jake video. These dudes go on white, and I don't got no knock on people going on white people platforms. Cool to them. That's what they want to do. Cool. If you want to go on these white dudes' platforms and try snitch all day, then do that. You know, don't get mad when them dudes come with the clinkers, right? So if y'all want to go on Cam Capone, dudes that's not a part of the community, but y'all don't want to give interviews to people of the community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think y'all too good to sit up on black platforms. But y'all sit up there like I was watching Jones when he was on Cam Capone talk about, yo, I ain't here to do this, man. Come on, man. You know, everybody hates him. Listen, bro, you, yo, let me read what this dude talking about. I'm gonna get back to what I was saying, but hold on. You so if you think you could come out here and hide your face like we can't see you, your G mom's gonna listen, gangster. Alright? If you was so tough, bro, you would have did what you had to do. Okay, brother? You're a watcher, so you the peanut gallery. We look at all you dudes, the trolls, as the peanut gallery. We don't even sweat y'all dudes. Salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Keep being supporters. Keep smashing the like button. Keep watching my platform because we need you to watch us. We need you to subscribe. We need you to support us because your view puts money in my pocket. Your view keeps me doing big things. So I don't get mad about you dudes. I just laugh at y'all dudes. Yeah. You would have peace to Cali love. Peace. Um, I would have did you in, but you got in a cab. Okay, gangster, you would have did this, did that. Come on, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. You an entertainer, bro. All right. I was across the street. Okay, you was across the street, bro. You should have dapped me up. You could have said something. No, I haven't seen Sugar Shay in a minute. She was on there, you know. She be online, but she come once in a blue moon. No, I'm not a troll. Not a troll. But let me read what Sean said. Sean, what did you think of George Foreman's legacy, being that your dad is a boxing coach, and what does he think about? So let me say this. So George Foreman, in my opinion, was pound for pound one of the greatest heavyweights there is, right? Especially in the 70s, you had. I'm gonna give you the best heavyweights in my opinion. So you got Ali, that's one. You got George Foreman. You got George. Oh, you got Joe Frazier. Hold on, let me take that back. So you got Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, Ken Norton, right? Pound for pound, one of the best in their era, right? In their era, they was the best. And then you got the 80s era, which is, you got Mike. Holyfield really wasn't a heavyweight. You got Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks. Who's another one I could say? Trevor Burbank. Yeah, Trevor Burbank was a problem. He was a problem. Trevor Burbank. But when you look at George Foreman, what would make him so great out of all the people that came out of that 60s, 70s class is that the man continued to box until the 90s, right? He fought Michael Moore, Shannon Briggs, Holyfield. Like he fought the young, like his younger juniors in the ring, right? And then 40 plus. And he won the heavyweight championship late in his prime, after his prime was over with. So you gotta respect that as a boxer because a lot of boxers, once you pass your prime, you know, and you retire and you come back, that's different. He retired, went into the church, and then came back and just did his thing. So gotta salute him on that. You gotta salute him on that. That's just like when I look at hip hop, like rap, like a lot of people can't reinvent themselves, right? So when you look at a George Foreman, it's like looking at an LL Cool J. right? Because LL was able to reinvent himself. He was competing against young boys. You know, that's why he was the greatest of all time, still a GOAT. You know, a lot of people's not can't be the GOAT. A lot of people can't be great at what they do in any sport, in any arena. You know, once you pass your prime, can't outlive it. You know, so that's just what it is. But yeah, he was one of the greatest boxers of all time, though. But back to what I was saying about Adam 22 and all them. So when you go on these platforms, yeah, he did his thing with the George Foreman grills. Now you got to remember, before he did the grills, he used to have his own TV program. If you remember, he had the cartoon show, he had the show, the talk show, he had the sitcom. If you remember the sitcom that he had in the 90s. So George was doing a whole lot of things, bro. What you think of the top G? Hold on, don't time boy out. What I think about Andrew Tate. So this is my opinion on Andrew Tate, because I'm gonna read questions. If y'all got any questions, I'm gonna read it for y'all. So this is what I think about Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, in my opinion, is a genius. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, Wacky. But Andrew Tate, in my opinion, is a genius. You gotta look at what Andrew Tate was able to do. Kevin Samuels, what he was able to do, and what Andrew Tate was able to do. And I'm gonna do a video on both of them. But Fresh and Fit, right? I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna give you a breakdown of both of them right now, because you brought Andrew Tate in. When you look at Fresh and Fit, right? Why they having the problems and the troubles that they're having is they come off looking for vengeance, right? What Andrew Tate, what he got over them dudes is he speaks the harsh truth, but he's marketable. He dressed debonair. He has a swag to him. Very charismatic. He comes off blunt. And him and Kevin Samuels was the only two dudes that took the whole red pill community to another level. Because before Kevin and Andrew Tate, nobody knew about the community. It was an underground community for years. You know, unless you was on YouTube and you was watching them, you would never know. Like, people don't even know that the originator, because they always say Tom Likas. I don't know why they give Tom Likas all the credit, because Patrice O'Neal, in my opinion, is the godfather of the red pill community. And just man no spirit at all. I don't care what nobody say. It was Patrice O'Neal that did that, because Patrice O'Neal was coming with pimpism. And a lot of the manosphere and a lot of the red pill talk was pimp streetism. You know, that was stuff that you learned, like, if you was a 5% or you was a Nuwapian, or even a Hebrew Israelite or a Nation of Islam member, you know, you understood what third eye meant. You understood what being woke and getting out of the matrix. And a lot of people looked at it as, oh, this is something new. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wasn't reading The Pale Horse, or you wasn't listening to people like Dr. York, you didn't know anything about none of that third eye escaping out of the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Like, The Matrix is a book that was wrote by a black woman. Like, a lot of people don't know that. The whole story was wrote by a black woman. You know? But, yeah, you know, dudes is hustlers, though. Nobody cares about Fresh and Fit. Nah, I'm just saying, you know, dudes asked me about Fresh and about Andrew Tate, so I'm answering the question, you know? You know, but they was able to capitalize on, yeah, Cali Love. They was able to capitalize, like you said, Wacky, they was able to capitalize on the emotions of men. So a lot of times when you look at a lot of the conversations they was able to capitalize, like I looked at it as entertainment, just like I looked at the conscious community as entertainment, you know, because when you able to entertain people, because all this is entertainment to me. A lot of people don't really, to keep it real with you, a lot of these dudes and a lot of people in their mind, bro, they don't really care about the gender wars because a lot of them is not married or they got a bunch of live-in girlfriends. So y'all know how it is. But I mean, you gotta understand everybody gonna pay for they gonna pay for that. It's not like you gotta look fresh and fit. They not the dudes, they not they corny type dudes, but they is dudes that basically they got money, they in a position, and them being in a position and them having money, the money changed a person. So now you could talk a certain way to the chicks because you in a position of power now. So yeah, before, they was getting played, they was getting disrespected, it happens because they thought they was socially awkward or they thought they was corny. But that's I always believe, you never underestimate anybody, bro, because you never know in the future that same dude that you friggin' on. Um, uh-huh. Q. Q. Yeah, so that's what people gotta understand, bro. So I ain't mad at anybody, man. You know, I ain't mad. I ain't never been no hater. I ain't never been no hater. So salute to everybody, though. Somebody had text me. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. So, oh yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. So Source Walker, they saying got shot out there in Memphis. His artist got shot out there in Memphis. And basically they don't have no real details of what happened. But, Source Walker have a lot of issues, bro. A lot of drama, man. You know, and his thing is, and I like Source Walker's music, you know what I'm saying? But you got to remember how he got in the game. Source Walker got in the game beefing with Drake first, right? Saying that Drake stole his style and all that. So, and then he had, I think, a little issues with Jay Prince and whole lot of stuff. So, Source Walker's kind of like, like how Dolph was. He independent, he don't care. He on his type of timing. But, you know what I'm saying? I heard he got shot, but it's not life-threatening. I heard his artist got killed, though. Like, they shot and killed his artist. But I heard I don't know if it's life-threatening with him. But I know they said his artist and him got shot, and they said that the artist died. That's what they saying out there in Memphis. So, it's crazy, though. I don't got her blocked, you know. Why is all those rappers getting shot and killed? I mean, getting killed. I mean, it's the climate, bruh. Like, I don't know why, More rappers dying in a little bit. Ain't nothing really happening with Yo Gotti. Yeah, I'm gonna speak about that with Big U. I'm gonna get back to that topic. Cause I was talking about that until somebody asked me about Andrew Tate. But a lot of rappers, you have to understand, bro. Let me just say this, right? Like Fabio Foreman, an example. Let me speak about Fabio. So y'all look, Fabio Foreman, he got arrested for pulling his hammer out on a disabled person, right? She was asking for a boost, a jump on her car, and he pulls the hammer out on the chick. By him doing that, he's now in jail. He been there since January, right? A lot of these rappers, bro, be moving stupid, okay? Well, DMX is the GOAT, my nigga. We could talk about him. We could talk about him, whatever. But a lot of these rappers be stupid, and they don't be moving right. And when you an artist, you never supposed to ride around with a strap on you. You know, you supposed to, but they don't have no money. You gotta realize a lot of these artists don't really got no money like that. You know, when you signing these 360 deals and you blowing your money, they don't really got no money like that. They blow. These dudes ain't never had money. So when you ain't never had money, no, he's not the go, homie. You're not gonna do that. They ain't never had money. So when you ain't never had money, you gonna be a K Flock. You know, you gonna be are you tweaking? What you talking about? Am I tweaking? Stone, what are you talking about? You gonna be a K Flock. You gonna be a Fabio Foreman. You gonna be like all these other artists that go out there, ride around with a strap on them, knowing that they is a rapper, knowing that they are the investment. Because you understand, once you do stupid things like that, bro, you mess up the bag and you mess up the people that put you in position. Because a lot of these rappers, they not the ones that put themselves in position. It's the people that's around them put them in position. You feel me? It's the artists that put them in position. So, like Fabio done put himself in position. Mace put him in position, right? And then other people, you know, is investing in him, his manager, and other people that's moving around. So now you done messed up they bag. You done messed up your man Bless and all these other people because you don't know how to leave the streets alone. You know? You know how to leave the streets alone. You know? So that's the way I look at it. So when these dudes be talking about, yo, like, come on, bro. Nah, I ain't mad at dudes. If they like Hove, they like Hove. I'm just not a fan. But if they like Hove, they like Hove. I'm not a fan. He overrated to me. You know. Hello, Aaliyah and Arion. Arion, yeah, peace to them. But yeah, a lot of these people, they be bugged out, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they really don't be street, bro. They, you know, you could tell dudes ain't really street. They ain't never been in the streets in their life. I think with a lot of these people, they get caught up in believing that street mindset, and they think that because they talk all that and they rap, that they really gangster. And then they get the federal RICO case, and then they be like, oh, no, I'm not, I was just rapping. I be trying to tell people, you know, they just need to just say it's all a legend, it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta look, man. Rappers back in the days made money. Today in hip hop, you ain't making no money in hip hop. In 2025, rappers ain't making money unless you Drake, unless you Travis Scott, unless you Future, Gunna, um, Drake, and all them. Lil Uzi, you making money. But if you just one of them flash in the pan rappers, you ain't making no money, man. I already talked about George Foreman, homie. You bringing it up, sticky fingers. I already talked about that, beloved. Just a few minutes ago, somebody asked me that. You know? Yeah. They not even gangster, bro. Because when you look, I'm telling you, bro, you seeing a lot of these dudes, they giving up information, they telling, you know? Look. You could tell the ones that's the gangsters and the ones that's not the gangsters. You see Griselda, them dudes been in the feds. So they already know how the system is. So you ain't gonna see a Benny or West Side or Conway get caught up in no RICO indictments. You ain't gonna see that because Westside Gun been in the phase. You see the pictures with him and Nicky Scarfo, him and Sly Green, so he understand what it is. He a dude that really played in them streets in Buffalo. Benny, same thing. 38 Special, same thing. So you gotta look at artists that's really from that and they know how to move. And then you gotta look at artists that ain't really from that. They just, trying to act like they that and they not that. Don't matter if you bust your hammer, you would tell they not built for it. So everybody wanna play gangsters, man. Salute, ain't nothing, chilling family. So is what it is. But hip hop, R&B, them genres ain't selling no more, bro. You gotta look, bro. Why is it that international artists is doing way better than American artists, bro? Ask yourself that. The Afro beats, the reggaeton, country, you know, even the pop white artists is doing better than rappers. It was a point where rap was the biggest selling genre at one point. It was the biggest selling genre at one point. You know what I'm saying? And to now, when you look at artists now, it's not even the biggest selling genre. A lot of rappers ain't even selling no units. Yeah, they do good, but the streaming, and if you even look at the streaming ain't that good. Cause a lot of the records, they showing that they playing with the streaming numbers. So you playing with the streaming numbers, you playing with the all of the music. So it's like, come on, bro. If the underground artist is doing way better than the artist that's on major labels, then that just shows you that independent artists is better than major label artists. It don't make no sense to me. Like, you on a major label and you still gotta play the streets. There's a point in time where you so far in the game, you ain't had to play the streets. These dudes is playing the streets. Like, you saw G Herbo. G Herbo got locked up for PPP loans or fraud or something, scamming. I think it was scamming or something. So this is a dude that's a big artist. Why is you getting picked up for scam, bro? And you a major artist signed Def Jam. Come on, bro. Why is Juice World, and let's keep it real, Juice World, perfect example, Juice World. Why is you on a private jet and y'all niggas moving drugs? Come on, bro. Y'all, come on, bro. That didn't make no sense. He swallowed the drugs and all that. Like, come on, bro. It don't make no sense, bro. They getting deals and then they just blown it. You know what I'm saying? Wild and Lucci, I'm glad he home. But come on, they were supposed to protect the bag, bro. These rappers, they ain't protecting the bag no more. They letting rappers just do it on their own. Like, they can eat that jail time. You know what I'm saying? So it's different from back in the days and now. Rappers ain't really, they ain't investing into their people. But the whole, they not real hustlers, man. Gotta understand, anybody that, if you a hustler, you ain't gotta do none of that. K Flock is in jail because he ain't on his job. He wasn't on his job. You know what I'm saying? Because look, K Flock, perfect example, right? It's a dude, you got a label, you signed a label contract. Instead of you saying to yourself, I got beef with these dudes in Sugar Hill. Why am I going to Sugar Hill? And why am I walking with my sister out there? So I walks out there with my sister and then I get in a commotion with homie. I come back, I start blaming homie with the blick. But here's the thing. I'm on camera. I goes on Instagram Live. I wears the same outfit. And then, let's look at it. Let's look at it like this, right? The dude I do it for tells on me. I lose the body, right? Because look, he gets found guilty. He was not found not guilty. He was not found not guilty. He was found guilty. He was only found not guilty on one account. That was the count 2. He's found guilty on count 1, count 3, count 4, count 5. So if you read the counts, he still got charged for using a attempt murder and with the firearm. He got found not guilty on one count. That was the second count. So he's guilty on all of the counts. And then he goes online just the other day talking about, yeah, kill all rats. The judge was crying and all this. He not going to get out, bro. Like, this is what people got to understand, bro. You may want him. He's not. They going to give him time, bro. He's going to sit down for a long time. Why? Because they got to make an example out of him. Because they got to make... Hello, how you doing, Jen? They got to make an example out of him to make people understand that you can't just go out there. Yo, you talking about the Illuminati, bro. My nigga, he never even got in the industry. Do you think they care about a K-Flock, bro? Like, let's keep it real, brother. Do you think they really care about a K-Flock? K-Flock, and this is honest to you. K-Flock was not, and I repeat, was not somebody that they really care about like that. If they cared about him, they would have let him out a long time ago. Okay? He was just another statistic. So they gonna use him for whatever time they give him. Now, if they give him 45 years, they're gonna give him 45 years. If they give him 35 years, they're gonna give him 35. But he's gonna do life. They're gonna make sure he do life. Because they gotta make an example out of a K-Flock to let people know is that you can't be pushing this agenda. We the biggest gang out here. You know? So what he was supposed to do was effects. That album was trash, bro. I didn't like it. Salute, 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 salute. I smoke. Make sure y'all share this live, man. Yo, bro, I don't know what you talking about. They letting, bro. You gotta understand, bro. Trump just said, man, they got a new crime bill. He's a part of a gang, my nigga. Understand that. Anybody that's a part of a gang in 2025, you are considered a terrorist. You just seen with Big U. So anybody that say they a gang member, bro, they about to build smart cities out here. Do you really believe, bro, that they want to keep these young, wild crash outs in the neighborhood? You know? Do you think they care about these young crash outs? No. They right now, they already killing the rap game. Because all they doing is they locking up all these street rappers, these dudes, or they getting knocked off. It's two of the, it's one of the two. They get knocked off or they getting serious jail time. So the drill rap, the trap rap, all of that. So you either is on the sassy side, they gonna let you rock. But if you on the street, I'm a gangster, bang, bang, we gonna see. What they doing is this, right? Crack ain't selling no more. Drugs ain't king no more. Young dudes don't care about making money in the streets. They don't care about the drug game. So that's not in they mindset. They mindset is being a rapper. A rapper is the drug dealer. Remember that. The rapper is the drug dealer. He is the street dude. So the rapper is going to be a part of the new crime bill. So you got to remember, in the 90s, the crack dealer, the stick-up man, the shooter, even the drug user was the poster child of the crime bill. Levi, what's good, family? Shout out, yo, tell Robert I said what up, man. And tell him, yo, we want that whole album, man. Tell him, drop the whole album, man. Like, do the Tory Lanez, man. If Tory Lanez could do it, I know Rob could do it. And I know he coming home soon. Him and Puff. So salute to both of them, man. But let me just say what I'm saying about the young rappers today. So the young rapper is the new drug dealer. He's the new killer. He's the new street dude. So they don't want these new super predators out here wilding out in the streets. They don't want these K Flocks. These are the super predators. And old boy said, yo, we gonna get these dudes death penalty. We gonna hit them with the firing squad. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get them the chair. We ain't gonna get them needle. We gonna get them the firing squad. They're a gang member. They're a cartel. They like to bang out with 5-0. Yeah, we gonna get them the firing squad. So people gotta understand, man. It's about small cities, bro. It ain't about the hood. The hood is over with. The block is over with. All that is over with. It's new world order, homie. So all that what people talking about, yo, the streets, the game, that's over with. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I look at like music, you know, it's pitiful, bro. But it's what's happening. You know, we not gonna be the face of hip hop no more. They already got new faces of hip hop. They already got new faces of R&B. You know, R&B right now is gonna be them white boys, them white chicks. They gonna take over R&B. Same with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't LGBTQI, or you ain't Caucasian, bro, you ain't gonna be. Our music ain't gonna be our music no more. So they already knew what they did. They already took urban music. Let's keep it real, son. Once Lucian Grange and his son took over Warner Brothers and Atlantic Records, once they took over the urban department in these record labels, they already said, yo, we gonna get rid of the urban department at Atlantic, Warner, and then we gonna restructure Universal. You know? We gonna restructure everything. So all these dudes that's talking about the streets is over with. Over with. They let y'all have y'all fun. Now it's cleanup time, bro. You know, like, y'all think because of what y'all seen with Big U, like, that's not gonna happen in all these other states with these big gangsters? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So don't think what's going on with Big U or this one that it's not gonna happen to all these other street dudes. What's your question, JB? Small cities. Oh, that's not him. Oh, that's cool. I see him though. Oh, okay, bet. What a small city? Okay, a small city is basically. You ever seen the movie Demolition Man? So let me tell you what the movie Demolition Man. If you ever seen Demolition Man or Minority Report, Minority Report was with Tom Cruise, one of my favorite movies. If you ever seen a movie with Justin Timberlake and Tom, or even Booker Eli, but I'm gonna just give you movies like In Time, Demolition Man, and what's the movie I just said? Minority Report. If you really look at that movie, if you really look at Demolition Man closely, right? The beginning of that movie, It's one of the illest scenes ever, right? Because we just seen it recently, right? We just seen it recently out there in California. So if you watch that scene in Demolition Man, you know, you see Hollywood burning, right? You watch the scene where Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes come back to life, right? Right now, what they talking about they want to do, right? They want to put chips in dudes' heads, right? Like inmates, to make them not do crimes. This is what they talk about doing. But when it comes to what I'm talking about with the Demolition Man, it's small cities, which means the corporation control everything, right? There's no more the people controlling everything. Big business is controlling everything. And you have to be successful to stay in these places. All right? And that's what a lot of people got to understand. So that's what a small city is. So you dealing with the big dogs, the Amazons and everything. So right now, what you're seeing, we low key is becoming wildfires mysteriously happening in places that you don't think wildfires is happening. Like you see wildfires in New York, or you see a wildfire in the Carolinas, or you see a wildfire just in places that you be like, wait a minute, wildfire here, wildfire there. Nah, it's all globalism, and that's what's gonna happen. So a lot of these dudes, they talking all this gangster stuff, man. It's just like, come on, bro. You know? And it don't make no sense, bro. You know? So it's crazy. Do you think Rolling 60s will have some infighting about who will run it because of Big U? I'm gonna be honest, with the Rolling 60s, what's going on out there is this, right? Once you cut the head and the body of the whole thing, it's over with. So that whole movement with him being arrested, it just killed it, because you gotta look, bro. They want the Olympics to come in, what, 2027 or 2028? So they don't want that type of behavior out there when you got the Olympics coming back out there. The Olympics ain't been in California since '84, and that was like the beginning of the whole gang wars, the beginning of the crack era. So now they want to have the Olympics come back there, and they want to just clean it up and infiltrate the city to make it more how they, I would say, deem as a small, big city. So that's what's happening. You know, yeah, I heard about what happened with Tesla. Yeah, yeah, I heard. You know, yeah. So yeah, the last Olympics was in California in 1984. You know, well, Sean, you got to remember, it's been a Democratic state, it's been a Republican state. Remember, Reagan was the governor. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor. Um, it was so many people that was the governor of California. So it's had Republicans and it has Democrats. So California is it's like every other thing. So it's like that. No, that's the Olympics of '90. That's the Olympics of '90. Is that Ebony? Let me see this. Yeah, that's a fake page. That ain't Ebony. Um, Smokey the Bear. So, oh, that's your backup? Oh, I ain't know that was your backup. Salute. How you doing? That wasn't Maine's That wasn't Maine's page, y'all. That was a fake page. That wasn't Main Milk, man. Yeah, that wasn't mean. JB, JB, JB. Yeah, that was a memes page. That was a troll page. Yeah. No, that was a memes page. That was a troll page. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Sean. Uh, what you said? Bricks currency. Well, that's why they trying to do the one. Listen. Rap samples. What they trying to do with bricks currency is this, right? And I'm gonna be honest, right? Bricks is supposed to be competition to the U.S. currency, right? So, so bricks currency is basically something that is the competition to the U.S. currency, right? But right now, what they trying to do is they trying to say, forget bricks currency. We gonna do dirt. We gonna do Doge currency, which is gonna be one world, one leader, one world, one currency. That's what Doge is trying to be. One leader, one world, one currency. Uh-huh. So let's just keep it real, y'all. So that's just what it is, you know. So I always tell people like that, like it's just one world, one currency. But the thing with Big U, what happened was Big U was doing too much. And when you got somebody like Big U doing too much, you know, you out here, the people are scared of you, and you basically is getting mad um, that they ain't cutting a check or they ain't checking in. You know, when you pushing that type of shit, what you think gonna happen? It's gonna happen. You know, and what happened with him was he went on podcasts exposing himself and exposing his operation. You know, and then you taking the grid money and you using the grid money to do BS. I would never take money that I'm using for a nonprofit program to do BS. What I can't tell on him. What happened with him was loose cannon, 600, Hassan. You know, those are the dudes that in Brick Baby. Those are the dudes that got him jammed up because one, they all was talking about Big U doing their extortion thing, having dudes robbed and lined up. So when you got dudes like your boy Poppy Campbell, your man Brick Baby, you know, and Loose Cannon, and even 600, what do you expect? Wack just sitting there as the puppet master, just doing this, you know, playing chess. But he the puppet master. He letting these dudes talk. So when you let these dudes talk, what you think gonna happen? You know, and that's what happened with Big U. He did it to himself and got himself thrown in the game. You know, he got himself tricked off the streets. You know, so him tricking himself off the streets, um, got him locked up. You know, and sometimes karma's a bitch. You know, sometimes, bro, because look at it like this, right? Big U could have did a lot of things to get himself out of the situation that he's in right now. He didn't want to get himself out of the situation that he's in because he thought he was bigger than the program, right? That's what they like to say, bigger than the program. He thought he was bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? He was out there being the black hand of death of the West Coast, being the preacher of the West Coast. So you being a black hand of death and you out here, you strong arming, what you expect gonna happen? You know? You know, you can't put out, and you know what really got him was Hip Hop Undercover. If y'all never seen Hip Hop Undercover, the documentary that they did on FX, please watch that documentary. It's on Hulu. You can check it out. That documentary is what got him in the trick bag. And then his interviews that he did on Dub C podcast, his interview that he did on the Breakfast Club, interview that he did on Drink Champs, is like that's what got him. You know, him talking about the situation with Nipsey, with Black Sam backing out the hammer to protect his brother because they was coming to discipline him. Like all this stuff was, and when you read the work, it's all in me. So it's like dogs. Then it's not like only somebody told on him, but it was like he literally told on himself. But it was the arrogance, you know. It was the arrogance, you know. Salute, 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 Hammy. It was the arrogance. So the arrogance put him in the situation that he is, you know. And really, when you have so much arrogance like that, you gonna always catch yourself in the thing. So, you know, that's why when you read his, like, cause I read his work, and I'm like, yo, damn, they got Bim in here, they got Steve Lobel, they got Trick, they got everybody in here, and all of them talking about stressing the check in, the no fly zone, like all that got him thrown in the game, and that's karma. That was karma, bro. I'm gonna go back and do StreamYard soon. That was karma, bro. His karma was slow grinding because you gotta look. Him and Wack fell out. You know, and then he allowed internet people to trick him. Cause you gotta understand, ego, narcissistic behaviors like that, when you arrogant like that, bro, you trick yourself out your own position, right? He allowed the dudes Damu Keyway to bring him on Clubhouse. Then he started talking about certain things on Clubhouse. So these people, they watching what's going on Clubhouse, Instagram, the interviews that he's doing. Boom, they came and got him. And you welcome. They came and got him. Him just not knowing when to shut up. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm not gonna say nothing. But him just not knowing that his ego was too, it was too huge. It was too huge that he could not let it go. He could not let his ego go because he wanted to be the bully that they paint the picture of in Fridays. You know? So him being the bully, him being the aggressor, him preaching, check-in, got him out. You know, like the thing with the shorty that played football, that he coached, shorty that was, you know, on the same team as his son, somebody that was his son's best friend, got him out the game. Because this is your son's best friend. This is somebody that you, come on, bro. Somebody that you play ball. It's just nasty work, bro. It's just like, dudes trick themselves out of position, bro. They do. And dudes get mad and say, yo, you can't blame the nigga Wack, bro. He played the puppet master. You gotta look, he's a smart dude. You can't blame him. Cause nobody told Brick Baby and Loose Cannon to go run their mouth. Nobody told them to do that. They did that on their own. You know what I'm saying? They just got a big mouth. You know? And they big mouth put them in a position. Now, all three of them are sitting in the cage together. Everybody else that's involved in that case, they got bail. They out. They free on the street. Them three, they still in there. Them three still in there. Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, Big U. It's nasty work. I wouldn't want to be in them dudes' position, bro. But they gotta blame themselves, man, for that. You know? They gotta blame themselves for that. I hear it's next week. What Well, in the paperwork, they make it seem like he had something to do with it, so you never know. You know, in the work, they talk about the discipline of Nipsey and the equipment and how they fell out. So, and the diss song that Nipsey did, and they said the boy did a diss song too, the one that's no longer here. So these are things that's in the paperwork. So nasty work, man. Nasty work. That's all I'm gonna say. So you don't know what else might come into this. You see Yellow Beezy, son. Like you didn't think Yellow Beezy had a whole different case. He had a whole case with sexual assault and an abuse case. His case ain't even had nothing to do with no capital murder. And all of a sudden, dude get a capital murder case out of nowhere. So come on, bro. You know? I don't know. They saying he may make bail. I don't know. His bail is $2 million. So I don't know. And another person that I really think that, you know, but I don't think they gonna ever get him though. But Reggie Wright. You heard what Suge said on Auto Dialogue. Reggie Wright need to be real cautious because Suge already blew him up. And we already knew Reggie had something to do with it because, like, you got to look, man. Why is it that everybody that was involved, right, had ties to Compton PD, LAPD Rampart, and it was David Mack, Rafael Perez, Kevin Gaines, right? And they all was right-way security. So everybody's saying right-way security had some hand in it. And then you hearing Suge saying it. You hearing Keefe D saying it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy, though. But, I know what y'all want to hear. Let's get into it. So, I was watching, and smash the like button. If y'all coming in the building, smash the like button. Let's get 100. Let's get 100 some likes in the building, man. We got 66 likes. Come on, man. There's 156 people in here. We need more likes than that. All right. All right. So let's get into it because I know people want to hear about Zip with the Drip and Hassan, Poppy Campbell. So let me say this. I'm watching the live with these dudes and they talking about Mano and, you know, the dude Poppy, you know, Hassan. He doing a whole diatribe about what you said. Hold on, let me read wacky words. I believe that both senior and junior alongside LAPD. Yeah, they had a lot to do with that. Wacky, you got to look at it like this. Pac, Big, that's all, their hands all over that. You know, senior and junior. But like I said, bro, they got immunity. You know, you got to remember they had a big case in Memphis with the Grape Street Crips, and then poof, they came home, and then you don't hear no more about, you know what I'm saying, they co-defendants did serious time. They didn't do that much time, you know. So, you don't know. You know, you don't know. You know. Yeah, serving first is above the law. Mano and Hassan. So let me say this about Hassan and Mano. So really, the beef with Mano, if y'all know, that whole Lobby Boys, if y'all remember, because we all watched it. That recorded conversation that I heard got released online because Mano was recording Poppy, and Mano had the whole conversation. But I had heard the conversation in 2022. I had heard the conversation on the phone. So I already knew he had apologized to Mano on the phone because he thought Mano did a video talking about him. So he got on the phone with Mano and Lucky Dawn, and they had a three-way conversation. And both of these suckers recorded themselves, which is crazy. But this is the thing with Mano, right? Mano is mad because of the Pretty Black situation, right? Pretty Black is family on my pop's side, right? He's my cousin family, right? Pretty Black from Coney Island. Dre, he from Coney Island, right? He don't want to, he not getting involved in none of that. He already told Sosa that. You know, free Sosa. He already told Sosa he not getting involved with that. So at the end of the day, you know, when I heard Hassan speaking about Pretty Black, like, dog, he not getting involved in that. With you promoting or pumping, he not even indulging in that, homie. So you right there to even say his name, you out of bounds. Cause you think he gonna, even though he may have his differences with Son, or even though Son may did something in the confessional, that doesn't mean he's going to give you anything, because one, he don't know you. Two, you wasn't incarcerated with him. Three, you don't even know him like that. So it's crazy to me. But Mano is a dude, man. I told people like this. Mano, he's a good liar. He's a good liar. I don't have no beef with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no issues with him. My only issue with Maine was that I felt like with the Troy Ave and Tax Stone situation, he should have stayed out of that, because Tax Stone clapped your girl at the Urban Plaza, and I don't know if she testified. She might have testified, might have not. But Shorty got hit at Urban Plaza. You didn't do nothing. How can you ride for somebody that clapped your girl in the spot? You know, I already spoke about Source Walker. So when you get online and you talking this high-powered, tough talk, and then, you know, Boxing Ball saying what he's saying, Boxing Ball have the right to speak his piece because you made him seem like he was a sucker. That's why he went online and said what he said, you know. So, I mean, you know, I don't have an issue with Mano, but it's like his hypocrisy is the issue, you know. How can you say you don't like trolls or you don't like dudes that disparage, but you came in the game with rumors. You came in the game with Take It Like a Man. When you went at G-Unit, you went at Bad Boy, you went at The Locks, you went at Dipset, you went at everybody on Take It Like a Man. You know, on Rumors, you went at Cam, you went at everybody on Rumors, right? And it wasn't because of your mans, like 80, everybody know 80. 80's a respected dude. You know, he's known everywhere. I don't care if it's in the 5 boroughs, Jersey, Philly, anywhere, they know 80. 80's official. 80's a real dude. But you left 80 and Trife said that. You left 80 in the spot. You didn't help out 80. You know, you didn't even help out Banger. You know, 80 told you to help out Banger. You know, and you didn't help out, you didn't pick up Banger and help him out. You left up out of there out your sneakers. So, and it's not no, you know, no knock, but that's what was said. So you can hear the record. It's on YouTube. When they asked you to help out pick up Banger, you didn't pick up Banger. This is 80 telling you that. You left 80 in there. You left 80 in the spot. This your mans. It's a nigga that put you in position. You know what I'm saying? Put money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing even with the mouse situation. Yeah, it did happen. It was confirmed to me. Shout out to my Red Hook dudes, my official Red Hook dudes. That, and you know, Mouse is official. I don't got no issue with Mouse. I like Mouse. You know what I'm saying? Because my family know Mouse, you know. But the situation did happen in the spot where Rod is. You know what I'm saying? Now, the video, the interview, I could post the interview where he speaks about it. It's on YouTube, where he talks about the altercation. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, a lot of times, you know, dudes just had an issue, you know what I'm saying? Because if you really look, a lot of dudes was scared of I mean, certain dudes in the industry was scared of Rod Diggs, you know? And it was allegedly that Capo and Mano was Sugar Son, that they was calling the hip hop police to not let son do music or get in the club. But that's old, you know. Boogie done step in the club, 3:30, yeah. Yeah, they call them. They they ain't wanna they ain't wanna rock with them. You know, they ain't wanna rock with them. But when they come to Mano, you know, I said what I said. You know, my only issue with Mano is you can't be mad with Troy Ave and then you was violating Bunky Essay for the same thing Tax Stone did. That was my only biggest issue with him. Other than that, I had a lot of love for Mano. Like, I didn't do the boxing ball interview. I said, nah. I told Big Chuck, I said, yo, Big Chuck, you know, doing that boxing ball interview, you're going to have issues. I told him I was the main one. So when Son came at me crazy and like, yo, come to what he said, come to Chelsea House and all that, like, I know what he meant by that. But I mean, like, homie, I ain't never once did no disparaging content about you. I only said two things that I felt like you was hating, and I felt like that was some sucker shit to hold on to a nigga chain for all them years and wear it in videos. Come on. That's just real. It's not hating. That's not dissing them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, people came to me about God Tony, about boxing ball. I said, nah, I can't do it because of the ties that Mano have to family members in my family. So I couldn't do it. But when he came at me crazy, I was like, wow, that's crazy. You know, he went at me crazy. You know, and then him coming on Clubhouse talking like I was a supporter of Mano. Like I wasn't no hater. You know what I'm saying? I never did a video dissed him. I never did a video violating him. I never did a video going at him. You know? Chuck, he did an interview and I told Chuck straight out the gate, I said, yo, you know, you doing this bar interview, son, you know son gonna be mad. And then boom, look, son saw him on Clubhouse. He said, yeah, I want to have a meeting with you. Yeah. He saw the interview, you know. So here's what it is, man. But yeah, back to Zip and Poppy. So Zip with the drip, man. Let me tell y'all something about the dude. Zip with the drip, man. Zip with the drip is a dude, in my opinion, he has a he has a Napoleonic complex, but he's a delusional person that suffers from identity crisis, right? Because everything that he says, there's no actual proof. You know, you got dudes that saying, yo, Blue Boy, you already admitted Blue Boy came to you on some, yo, you either want to get down, put the knife on the table and let's get to it. You got down, you ain't want to get down, you ain't want to get to it, right? You ain't want to get to that, right? Chino Blast, the homie Lion, that the Latin King homie did the video. He said, yo, dude, Chino Blast came at you, extorting you and all type of things, and you wasn't on nothing, right? But you come online and you talk this gangster talk, like, and these dudes are not paying you. Like, I don't, it's the thing, right? I could see if Mano was giving Zip money. I could see if Tellum Blanco Century was giving him money. Nobody's giving this dude money. Nobody's giving this dude money. Nobody gave this dude any type of paper. All I've seen him online is taking up for dudes. Like, I look at Tellum Blanco, they giving the 4 green dudes paper. You seeing the dude Corleone, he got a AP on the wrist. He pushing a Porsche truck. He pushing a Bentley truck. These dudes is jeweled up. They got money in their pocket. And you living over there in Leffers Gardens, smoking dirty weed. Ain't got no money. You was playing with chumps when you was in jail. You wasn't even dealing with no chicks. You was playing with chumps. You know what I'm saying? I be in that room, but I don't. Dude's a hater, bro. I can't deal with that intellectual gangbanging room, bro. But it's like when I look at Zip, like, dude, your rap career is over with. You need to just focus on working for nature. All right. You need to just focus on working for nature because you online with your nature hat on. Focus working for nature. Nature is a good. That's a good gig for you. Continue doing nature, cause YouTube ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't it. The podcasting ain't work. You thought it was gonna blow for you with Tax Stone. You thought it was gonna blow with Chris Gotti on there. You thought it was gonna blow with Little Preem, and it didn't. So it's like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You was getting assaulted by men in prison. Come on, bro. You was they Maytag. Like, I can't listen to somebody that is a snitch. Cause come on, bro. Let's look at Zip, bro. 5 years for a homicide is crazy to me. 5 years for a homicide is crazy to me. 5 years for a homicide? We not talking about somebody that um somebody that basically that did a homicide and beat the case. They give you 5 years probation for homicide in New York State in the late 90s, right? The late 90s with a legal aid, you got 5 years probation for homicide. That make you do this. Like, where and when. And then you don't want to show the paperwork. You talking about you was a juvenile. Come on, bro. In New York State, especially in them days, since 1988, in New York State, juvenile defenders was charged as adults. Especially if it's an egregious crime like murder, they was charged as an adult. So when I hear the dude speaking that nonsense that he was speaking kicking, I knew that he capping. Cause to me, it don't sound right. Those is lies. That's lies. So he snitched on his brother and he got 5 years probation. He told. So I can't listen to the gangster talk from Zip when, dog, you questionable. Your everything about you is very questionable, and especially that case is very questionable. So we can't believe that. Now it's the same thing with Poppy. Poppy, we can't believe everything you saying, Haas. Mac Mean is a liar too. Mac Mean went to prison for robbing pregnant women, robbing civilians. He turned Muslim because out of fear. He didn't turn Muslim because he loved the faith. He turned Muslim out of fear. Let's keep it real. Zip with the Drip, same thing. Turned Muslim out of fear. He got kicked out of the blood whip and turned Muslim out of fear. Now let's get back to Poppy Campbell. Now Poppy Campbell is another one. I was a hitter for B.O. I got 3 bodies. No, you don't, bro. You're delusional. You're a person that's going through a mental crisis that you want people to believe that you are a shooter and a killer, and that's not you. Nobody in Bronx River know you for that. And that's why Xavier Williams is going to let the world know that a lot of things that you're saying is cap. Once that interview come out, you're going to understand that it's all cap. And he's not the dude. Like, just because B.O. may know you, just because Xavier Williams may know you, doesn't mean that you was a somebody in them projects. You wasn't a somebody in the projects. You was a nobody that wanted to be around the somebodies in the projects. You weren't that. You was a flunky, a hoster. And your whole life and your whole existence, that's why when you come on platforms, Poppy Campbell, you come on, I'm gonna call you Pop, because that's what your daddy called you. Pop. When you come online and you make this character up that's not you. You running around with a BB gun, you know, acting like it's a real gun. The reason why your case didn't go nowhere with the gun thing, because that wasn't a real gun. That was a BB gun that you had on your property, and that you made it seem you was so drunk out your mind that you went and had a BB gun with a stendo clip to try to make it seem like it was a real actual gun, but it wasn't. It was a BB gun. You went to Bronx River with that same BB gun, the same one, and you took that video, you put it on your Patreon to make money, and when you put it on your Patreon to make money, after that video, you took it and gave it to all the YouTubers. But why did you do that? Was basically because you wanted people to believe that you shot somebody. You got shot with a BB gun. You shot yourself with a BB gun. You didn't get shot with no real bullets. That was a pellet. Okay, that's why you was holding the evidence bag in your hand, because that was a pellet in your arm. Okay, you was acting. You had a BB gun that you backed out in the projects. See, you want to live the life of a gangster, but you're not a gangster. So you make people believe that you did all of this and all of that. But that's not your lifestyle. So that's why you go into Bronx River with a BB gun. That's why you did all of that videos with the BB gun. Because really, that's not you, homie. It's not you. And that's why these dudes don't respect you. That's why you stay in Westchester safe, because you gotta understand, you live in Westchester. I didn't give him no props, Kingsley. What are you talking about? You gotta listen to the live, bro. You gotta look at son, right? He is so lost in this identity crisis that he can't get out of this psychosis. It's a psychosis to him that he really is caught up in. It's a psychosis. Like, Haas got a psychosis. Poppy Campbell is dealing with a psychosis. He's dealing with the losers of grandeur, right? He'll make you believe that he's a street dude. He'll make you believe he's the smartest dude, but he can't tell you what book he read. He can't tell you anything that he's did for his community. He can't tell you about a nonprofit program. He can't tell you about a community outreach. He can't tell you about any basketball teams that he's funding for the summer leagues. He can't tell you any of those things because he's not doing that. But his thing is, he wants to make people believe that he's a street dude. He wants people to believe that he is a dude that caught bodies. What bodies he caught? There's no such thing as any bodies. You know, he drinks a lot of alcohol. The alcohol makes him believe in his own hype, and when he's sober, he'll tell you, I'm not a street dude, I'm not a gangster, that's just not me. His father don't condone him, his sister don't condone him because of the actions of how he maneuvers on YouTube. YouTube makes him believe that and really the people hype him up to believe that he's who he say he is on the camera. But he's not. He's a disturbed individual that may harm the people in his household because he's that disturbed. You gotta understand, he's not coming outside because he lives next door to the precinct. Why would he want to come outside? He's safe in his circumference. You know what I'm saying? That's why he plays the house where it's cold. And then when he do want to come outside, He pays dudes to come out there to Cortland, and he do the little, videos because he's paying dudes. But really and truly, he's scared. You know, you know what I'm saying? So you'll see him running around, checkmate. You know, you'll see him running around, but he ain't running around with T Mac no more. Cause T Mac, you gotta look, T Mac and him is not running around no more. You know why? Because T Mac fell back from him because of all the dumb BS that he did. Come on, bro. Salute. Oh, you know me? What's goody, bro? Where you know me from? Yeah, T Mac's not rocking with him because he dissing Fat Joe. And he trying to get Joe cased up. And come on, bro. Dudes ain't going for that. So T Mac fell all the way back from Haas. A lot of them. A lot of them fell all the way back from Haas. A lot of dudes from that South Bronx area fell all the way back from him. So it is what it is, man. Haas is delusional, man. Poppy is delusional. He believes in his own hype. And it's people that put the battery in his back and motivate him to be a clown. He not himself. See, one thing about me, people that know me know how I am, know what I do, right? But I'm not on here putting on the front. He put on the front. He put on the front on YouTube. That's the sad part. When you listen to dude come online, he talking all this gangster shit. Come on, bro. So, it is what it is, man. It's your boy Bullets Gotti, bro. The key words is, man, dudes like Poppy talking about he want to fight. He don't want to fight nobody. Let's get that clear. He not fighting no man, no. He not fighting nobody in no ring. He's not. He all talk and all bluff. Right now, he's just doing anything because he don't got nothing to go with right now. He don't got no type of content to talk about. He don't got no type of nothing. His problem is that if he dealt with the reality of his life, if he dealt with who he is as a person, and he dealt with his family more, and dealt with people around his circumference, yo, bro, listen, man, you get on my nerves with that, please. If he dealt with his family and he dealt with the people around him, he wouldn't be looking for the attention that he looking for. You gotta understand, he wants to be friends with these rappers. He wants to be friends with these entertainers. He wants to be friends with these people. Okay? Nobody told him to be friends with these people. You know what I'm saying? He wants to be friends with these people. He want to have conversations with them on the phone. He don't really want to beef with them. He really want to be cool with them. But you have to understand, he's a clout chaser. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have any real formative information for anybody. He's not bringing no type of change in anybody's lives. He just want to be part of YouTube. So it is what it is. It's what it is. And like I said, Hassan is a clout chaser. And when you're a clout chaser, that's what happens. People clout chase to the point they can't clout chase anymore. So you already know what it is, man. It's your boy Bullets Gotti.